There has been a lot of talk across industries about marketing to millennial consumers, but many brands still find it challenging to get it right. Like all people from previous and future generations to come, millennials are multifaceted. To successfully market to the millennials generation, we first need to understand the consumer group mindsets, including their values, including their behaviors, and characteristics, all of which we'll be discussing here today on marketing to millennials. Hey everyone, my name's Lisa Ann, and today you're going to learn the ultimate guide to millennial marketing. I'll share the best strategies on how you can market to millennials by considering their general characteristics and behaviors as supported by countless studies that I'm going to share with you. We'll then talk about how you can use that information to attract millennial consumers into your business. But first, let's answer that burning question you have. Why are millennials so important? Honestly, there's more than one answer to that. First of all, being I'm a millennial and I know that I am very important to you. But all jokes aside, buying power like whoa. Okay, so if you look back at statistics from around 2015 to 2017, millennials had a buying power of approximately $200 billion annually in the US alone. But that is nothing. Get this. A 2020 Consumer Culture report from 5W Public Relations stated that millennials are projected to spend $1.4 trillion in 2020 alone. 1.4 trillion. Do you want to know how many billions are in trillion? 1,000 billion. So how do we go from approximation of $200 billion annually to $1.4 trillion in 2020? Lucky for you, I checked in with my marketing glass ball and I can tell you exactly how. Millennials currently represent the largest portion of the workforce in the US, and they'll soon take over baby boomers to become the largest living adult population based on estimates from the US Census Bureau. Millennials are defining a whole new market because they are outnumbering other generations. Millennials have tremendous buying power because of their generational population density. But wait, you didn't think that was all, did you? Here is a big part of it, if not the most significant amount. Millennials are coming into their prime spending years. Now, what the heck does that even mean? I'll explain it in just a sec, but real quick for those who need a refresher course. So according to Pew Research, millennials are individuals born between 1981 and 1996. And if you're wondering how old millennials are in 2021, they'll fall between the ages of 25 to 40. And I happen to be one of them. One of the most significant facts about millennials is that this generation grew up during the tech evolution. The era of the transition from the dial-up internet to smartphones has made them digital natives and has really shaped them to become the tech-savvy and hyper-connected group that they all are today. In a nutshell, we, the millennials, learn how to do-it-yourself everything from YouTube. We decide where to eat based on Instagram posts. We plan our weddings through Pinterest boards, and we have our groceries delivered to our front door thanks to a various amount of apps. Now, moving on to the concept of someone coming of age and what prime spending year actually means. Now, if you are a shopaholic, I'm sure you're probably rolling your eyes at me and at this concept, but trust me, just leave it with me for a second. I know it'll make sense. We all probably have a general idea of what coming to age actually implies. As you grow older, you become wiser, or at least we hope so. But hopefully, you're able to get rid of your acne, get it under control, you eventually move out of your parents' house, you get a university education, you go through different life phases, certainly things begin to take priority over others. Yada, 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 you get the idea. But did you know there's a form of marketing called life event marketing? Yep, and it takes into consideration people's various life-changing events or the time during which they come of age. So Facebook actually has the ability to target users based on a recent or upcoming significant life event. So let's say someone changes their status to recently engaged. Facebook can target them specifically. It can target birthdays, it can target new jobs, if they recently moved, you name it. If you've made that change on Facebook, they know it and we can target you. So this is what we've learned so far. Millennials come in herds, okay? They are outnumbering everybody, but they are also coming of age, or as some advertisers would say, are coming into their prime spending years. This is because millennials at this time fall between ages 25 to 40 years old and are in the middle of various life-changing events such as buying a home, getting married, changing careers, and so on. Millennials are not just tech savvy, they are incredibly resourceful and choose to educate themselves in whatever piques their interests. And yes, they are socially connected. I think I've painted a pretty good picture so far. But if you are wondering why all the details, well, let me just say just this. It is far easier to market to someone you generally understand, knowing how someone grew up or was raised and in what social or cultural conditions, their age, and what point in their life they may be at now is tremendous progress towards just that. In marketing, getting into those types of specific means creating a customer avatar or a marketing persona. But that's a talk for another time. Now it's time for the nitty-gritty. Time to go over millennial trends such as their values and characteristics and how those two influence consumer behavior. By the end of this video, you'll have a lot of knowledge on how to create a marketing strategy designed to profit off these population-dense generation. Be sure to bookmark this video, save it for later by adding it into one of your playlists so that you can always come back and to reference it at a later time. Let's reiterate that millennials are tech savvy, but when it comes to what influences their purchase behavior, there is one thing that still is the king among others, and that is word of mouth. Across all age groups, not just millennials, word of mouth continues to be the most decisive influence on behaviors when it comes to purchasing. Second to that are online customer reviews. Third, online ads, and fourth, articles and blogs. But after that, the findings vary when comparing millennials to Generation X and to baby boomers. The older generations, such as baby boomers, who range from ages 55 to mid-70s, aren't at all influenced by things such as celebrity endorsements, podcast sponsorships, YouTube influencers, someone they follow on Facebook or someone they follow on Instagram. But millennials, they lean much more favorably towards these categories, and they can easily sway their purchase decisions. Now, not all millennials, but certainly a very high percentage of them, as in almost at least 50% or more depending on the influence type. This data indicates to us that millennials first look to their close networks for recommendations. Now, according to Kissmetrics, 89% of millennials trust recommendations from their family or their friends about products and services than believe what the actual brand is claiming. Now, most people in this generation, they'll scroll right past advertisements on their social media feeds, but they'll stop scrolling with the sight of exciting content from their friends and their family. For this generation, online reviews have become the new word of mouth, and millennials read reviews online before they actually make a purchase. Now, HubSpot actually states that 84% of these consumers do their research online before making a purchase, and that 70% of them read online reviews before they buy. Now, despite this though, millennials still scored high for being easily influenced by influencer marketing. Gone are the days when celebrity endorsements are the #1 method to attract consumers. Influencer marketing works by using endorsements and products or service mentions from a particular influencer with the hope of reaching their audience. Examples include YouTube influencers reviewing your product in a video or even Instagram influencers posing with your product in one of their photos. With this type of marketing, Millennials consumers will not only receive feedback about your business, but they will also receive a direct recommendation from someone that they already trust, or someone that's actually in their network. If you want to learn more about influencers and whether or not they're right for you and your brand, make sure to check the link below in the descriptions. Now, taking these influences on purchase behavior into account, it's no surprise that social media matters for the smartphone generation, and social media marketing will be one of the best ways to target and convert millennials. Especially when you learn this next fascinating bit. Millennials are known to do their research before purchasing items, but what people don't realize is that doing your research isn't a cure or an excellent way to curb impulse shopping. It's gotten so easy to make purchases, but harder to make the right decision. And my generation is in the middle of all of that. It turns out that resisting the temptation of online purchases is a daily battle for millennials. And that 82% of millennials will buy an item the very first time they see it if they like it enough. The convenience of mobile apps does come at a price for millennials. It's led them to have poor impulse control when it comes to making online purchase decisions. It is bad for millennials, but really, it's great for businesses. How can you leverage this information and virtually this vulnerability in a way that doesn't seem entirely predatory? Indulging in the splurge mindset will most likely yield positive results, but it's worth thinking about how you can emphasize your product value while still keeping it classy. Perhaps you can describe it in such a way that it feels instead like an investment, a treat that they deserve, to give something that will significantly enrich their life, or a purchase they'll regret not making, which is going in for the kill with the whole FOMO approach. Now, other approaches include offering options for now or later purchases, providing payment plans, and watch lists, helping the consumer get rid of their guilt with easy to return policies. Now, here's something else that you'll find is a shock. Even among millennials, the leaders in online shopping, 68% say that they still prefer finding new products in store to finding them online, which significantly is higher than the older age groups at 54%. Who's the lazy ones now? Now, as much as we millennials love to live online, no one lives 100% of their lives online. And omnichannel marketing remains relevant in the purchase journey, especially in the discovery stage. Now, according to Huffington Post, 61% of millennials are worried about the world's state and feel personally responsible for making a difference. Millennials certainly put their money where their heart is, and most of this generation is willing to purchase a product or a service that supports a cause that they believe in, even if it means paying a little bit extra. Now, 83% of millennials say it's important for the companies they buy from to align with their beliefs and their values. In one particular study, there were two statements that about 75% of all millennials agreed with. Statement number one is that it is important to me that companies I buy from align with my values. Number two is I like it when CEOs of companies speak out about issues that I actually care about. Now, to get a little deeper into that, about 75% of all millennials also agree with the following statements about giving back. So number one, I will pay more for a product if I know some of the proceeds go to charity. Now, a great example of a brand that offers something in exchange for every purchase is Tom's. Tom's state that a pair of shoes will be donated to someone in need for every single pair of shoes sold. It's inspirational marketing at its finest, and brands on this research that isn't something that millennials would like to have. It's something that they're expecting and actually demanding from companies. Now, HubSpot says 84% of millennials don't trust traditional advertising. They don't respond well to advertisements or any message that is written in marketing speak. Instead, they like to connect with brands, through natural content that doesn't make it seem like it's all advertisements. This data makes content marketing a must for every single brand that is trying to attract millennial consumers. But remember, it's not just about the content creation, because anyone can do that. It's about promoting your business or your brand honestly. Appeal to the millennials' compassionate side, to the new age kid who wants to hear and feel and experience authenticity. Be transparent in sharing your company's values and your products or your service specifications and even limitations. And never doubt the power of strong copywriting. Storytelling has been found to make you 22 times more memorable. So when I say storytell, don't sell, I mean it. If you want to reach millennial customers, you need to know where they are. And there is nothing better than engaging with them through social media channels that they are already active on, that they hang out on literally all day long. There are 3 top social platforms in the order of importance that millennials love to spend their time on, and that is Facebook, Instagram, and then YouTube. Facebook continues to be the most popular social platform across all ages. And taking advantage of all 3 platforms will give you the best bang for your buck across all age groups. Social media is one of the driving forces of sales for a lot of businesses. In fact, I built my entire business on social media. Now, a report from Facebook stated that 70% of millennials are influenced in their shopping habits by posts made on social media. Now, one major thing worth noting here is that you want to be available to your audience when it comes to social media, meaning you want to make sure that you're able to engage with them. This will allow for discovery, sharing, and even conversation. Now, if you can't do this yourself, I want you to think about finding someone who can do it for you once you gain some following, because engagement is robust for marketing. And you don't want to be silent when your target audience is trying to get your attention. Now, answering your consumers' questions in the comment section, conducting a live question and answer session, or responding to them via private message can be a great way to increase your brand awareness and can help your business be seen as cheerful and communicative. Now, another great idea is to showcase customer reviews on your social platforms and even on your website, since millennials love to rely on them. One great way to spark engagement is by taking a more creative approach to content that won't get old so quickly. I'm talking about UGC campaigns, also known as user-generated content, so that your customers can share visual stories about their experience with your product. Other consumers can get an idea of the value beyond the sticker price. Now, this is content that is made for you for free, unless you choose to incentivize your audience somehow. Now, I have a video that I made that talks all about this in details. I'll actually link it below in the video descriptions, so you can consider if it'd be a good idea for your brand as well. Millennials are a key consumer demographic for online marketers, thanks to their tech-savvy nature and that they're able to consume web-based content. They are more likely to use smartphones and their tablets over laptops and consumers to make their online purchases too, by the way. With these and other characteristics in mind, there are some of the best strategies to implement when marketing to millennials is social media marketing, influencer marketing, and content marketing. Now, brands that have been successful with marketing to millennials in the past and who have accomplished a really high level of purchase success with this demographic have been able to do so because they knew where to connect with their audience. They were able to inspire action with copywriting that was authentic, and they knew how to speak to their core beliefs. Now, no matter your approach, remember to be engaging, appealing to their values, and to optimize your content for mobile. So let me ask you, is your target audience between the ages of 25 to 40 years old? What marketing methods have you tried? What has been effective? What hasn't been effective? Let me know in the comments. And actually, while you're down there, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel for more content on how to maximize your marketing efforts. I'll see you next week.